Hello everyone and welcome to this video where we're taking a look at the newly released Hotfix 1.9.8. It came out today and honestly the guys usually don't release updates on the weekend, so it is a little bit of a shock to see that there has been differences and changes, especially since I made a series of videos explaining the new sort of gas system. Well, it's all been blown out of the water because from my little testing that I did, it's entirely different. It's been revamped. Stuff has gone back to what the game had previously done, the way they modeled it. So we're going to take a look at what this new hotfix means for your creations. Now, it is a little kind of disheartening to think that any person that may have done a change in the last little while to their game or to their creations now have to go back and fix it again. So if you did anything in the last week to optimize the way your water flows in your creation or the way that anything works, any kind of tank, it may be different now. So keep that in mind. Hopefully they're going to stabilize the game and stabilize this update and make it so that it's not constantly evolving, but I do understand the need for that now with this new update and people freaking out. So let's take a look and see exactly what happened. Taking a look here at the release notes, it says reworked fluid system to be much more consistent with pre-space behavior. Fluid system now driven by delta pressure. Liquid is partially compressible to assist with flow. This update fixes steam and other fluid components. Rebalanced RCS to have lower power and gas consumption. Fix the steam and exhaust particles. So this came as a result of the testing that they brought back, the experimental testing, which was the fix 1.9.6. So they did do that, and now this is active. I'm not going to do a video talking about this, but pretty much they went ahead and added sort of experimental section, which means they have people now kind of testing and working on creations. So hopefully that will have a more stable game moving forward. I released a video earlier today to go through sort of what I would like to see in terms of the HVAC system and stuff, but even this little hotfix ended up changing that. So we're going to take a look at how that changed now. I still ended up releasing the video because I wanted to document exactly how the game is progressing instead of sitting on the video, but at the time of releasing it, I knew that it was actually different than what was actually happening in the game. But again, that was done for documentation purposes. As you can see now in this latest video, this is as of today with the latest hotfix 1.9.8. If you look at the barometer in the atmosphere, we're almost at 1, which makes sense. And if we look here, it's just shy of that. It's not as low as it was even yesterday when I filmed yesterday's video. Now we can go ahead and increase this, and you could see that now that there is gas going into it, and it's slowly increasing, assuming it's going to increase until it hits this number here. So I'm just going to pause and we'll see what happens. For the record, I have not opened the door. I've just opened this gas relief, or the relief valve here, or the fluid valve, the manual fluid valve, and I have a gas relief valve here that's allowing only gas through the system. So you can see that it's almost there. It's been about 2 minutes, and you could see that we're slowly now slowing down as we're about to hit the same number. So that actually makes the most sense. This is what I would expect from this behavior, though I wouldn't expect it to slow down now, but I get the way the game works with pressure. It's taking its time to sort of equalize. Anyways, now that we've confirmed that this works, so now with our ship interior areas, all we have to do is add this type of thing. We do not need the on and off valve because all we'll have is the fluid port and the gas relief valve. And I will do another video testing how these systems work. Just keep in mind now it's closed. I'm going to step into the room now, close the door, and you can see now that if I hover here, we are probably, and right now I have a gas meter here, and as we're standing in the room, all of these vents are closed, so we're creating carbon dioxide. So the value of carbon dioxide will continue to increase as our character or avatar continues to breathe. So the character is breathing, and here's the carbon dioxide number. It's increasing. Eventually, it'll reach a level where we are going to suffocate in this room because we're going to have consumed all the oxygen, and now all we have left is carbon dioxide. So, ideally, we're going to spin this valve, allowing the air to neutralize and we're gonna not have as much carbon dioxide. So if I do this, you can see it starts to drop, and it's gonna drop until it has the ambient number of carbon dioxide that you have in your exterior area around your ship. Obviously, as you breathe, or as your character breathes, it goes up, it spikes a bit, and then it equalizes. So this seems to be a working system now, which is excellent. The other thing I wanted to test is here we have our barometer testing the inside and the outside of the vessel. So this is the big open space here, and honestly, as you walk in, you don't get any more of those bubbles or particles, and you could see here our door's open, so the carbon dioxide level is dropping as we breathe, so that's excellent. But realistically, the pressure has balanced out, so it seems to be much more stable in a sense of ships and existing creations. Now, one thing that I would like to see is not only doors, but I'd love to see ports like windows that you could open up. Like, even if there's one style of window, and it doesn't have to be this style, it could even be something that looks like this, or like this more square one, but that you could interact with it and open up a window and release your pressure, pretty much. Like, it'd be cool if the porthole could actually swing up, like flip up on hinges, and maybe we wouldn't even mess with the existing ones, but add a third porthole option that's a openable porthole. So that'd be nice for getting some fresh air, in addition to the systems that we showed in the front of the ship in the forecastle. But here we're actually increasing the carbon dioxide level, and it's not dropping because all of our doors are closed. So it seems to be stable by now. Back to these tests. So I spawned these in, and they instantly pressurized. So it no longer takes that full like 30 seconds of all the particles flying up through this opening. If you watch again, I'm just going to spawn it in again. It's instantaneous. It took like a second. So it seems to be more functional now. Everything seems to be working a little bit better. I would love to go as far as saying that everything's fixed, but we'll see what happens. So again, now this is our door system. We're going to go through each one again. I'm not going to explain each one. You can catch that in the other video. I'm just going to quickly explain it. But here's a simple door system. We open the door, and again, it does not flood. It works as a moon pool, so that's fine, but it's not good for a ballast tank. It's good for a moon pool. Over here, we have simple pumps. So this is, call it the outdated system that you'd most likely have in your ships, where it's just a pump and a fluid filter, or sorry, pardon me, not a fluid filter, but a simple pump and a port. No filters whatsoever here. So if we go to pump in here, you can see the liquid level is increasing, this time much slower. If you remember in the last video, this shot up like crazy, whereas now we're slowly going up. I'm not going to watch this. Like, this may take a while now. This is much slower than before, so I would say this is not a great system to have to fill up any sort of room or ballast tank, because it will take a while. So this is not a good one. It works, you know, but it doesn't work very efficiently. Over here, we have the same thing, except now we have a fluid filter, so only allows liquids through, not gases. So if I turn it on, does it work any faster? Not really. So this is not a huge chamber, but it seems to be taking a long time to fill up. And same thing here. So the pumps have slowed down drastically, so ballast tanks now would not work properly, in my opinion. They'd work properly, but very slowly. We have to see what we could do with pressurizing the system to make it fill faster. And if we think back on what the update note said, it said that fluid system is now driven by delta pressure, and liquid is partially compressible to assist with flow. So I'd be very curious to see how flow can be sped up. But back here, these things are going very slowly. Now, removing the water from here seems to be working a bit better, or faster at first. So I'm very curious if it's gonna work faster the second time around. But remember, we're not removing any of the pressure from inside this chamber, or inside the ballast tank. But it seems to be working fairly slowly. This one's even slower. This one I really would not recommend. Over here, we now have a valve, or just a pipe on the top with no filter. So this one did not work last time, because in theory the water was pouring out right out of that, and I think that's what's happening again. So this is a big no-no. So far, I mean, what I'm seeing here is none of these systems really work as ballast tanks, or not very efficiently. This one has a gas relief valve on the top. So if you see there, there's a little gas relief valve, but no valve or no filter on the bottom. So the filter is only on the top, so it only allows the gas to leave the system, but pulls in everything that's in this tank right here. So again, kind of slow but working. This one here has the filters, liquid filters, and it has the gas filter on top. I'm just going to leave these be. They seem to be working very slowly now with this update. Over here, we are now pumping in this water, and simultaneously we're pumping out the air in the top. Let's see if this works any faster here. Not really. So I'm not seeing any luck with any of these. I mean, this one, yeah, we're at 400 here. This one's even slower. This one is quite slow as well. This is quite slow as well. Wow, not looking good. Over here we have filters now, so we're pumping out the air and we're filling it up with this water. And we'll just turn these both on. Over here we're pumping in air while pumping in water. And so over those ones we're pumping in water and pumping out air. Here we're pumping in both things, but it's not really climbing up that much faster. So from what I can tell from this quick experiment that we just did, it works, but it's very slow. So how can we speed these guys up to make them work faster? We'll have to do some digging. Now it's a bit discomforting to know that it's that slow, so I'm just going to spawn one of my ships and try to use the ballast tank. So let's see how fast they fill. That may be several pumps working simultaneously as well. If I go to the front inside of the ship, yeah, we got 2 pumps in parallel pumping in here. But it's still increasing quite slowly. So it works, but it is quite slow. So I'm gonna end this video here. I'm not gonna go through the potential fixes. I just wanted to explain the new fix that this or the new changes that this fix brought about. Unfortunately, it fixed some things and it seems to have broken or slowed down some other things. So let me know in the comments if you find any better solution. We may look into them. Thank you guys all for liking, for commenting, for subscribing, all this stuff. It means so much, and I'm so happy to have an awesome fan base as I do. Stay tuned for more creations, more content, and as always, happy Stormworksing, everyone.